And then when the pandemic hit, suddenly the world shut down. And for the first 6 to 8 weeks, I didn't think about anything other than survival, basic functioning, and I wasn't thinking about creative work or anything like that.
What I think the Harp Sprint has done really well is bring together artists and people in the arts and health sector together from all over Wales. And we have to remember that we are isolated as well. So the camaraderie and the bringing us together has actually been really lovely and uplifting and given us the energy and tools with which to innovate and be optimistic about what we do for a living.
So we brought a team together, 12 people, to test out some new ideas and learn about what works and what doesn't, but most importantly to provide creative support to people struggling in lockdown.
In our team project titled Conversations Future Selves, we recently hosted an open call for deaf, neurodivergent and disabled artists to make short online artworks in response to their experience of the pandemic and their hopes for the future. And the following question is our starting point. When normal doesn't work for so many, how can we creatively imagine what the future looks like together?
Was this world never made for? For how many was this world not normal?
We decided on exploring the creative use of VR for a small group of 10 people to have intensive involvement for a week. We're looking at loneliness, not purely in terms of relationship with the outside world, but really the main aspect of feeling lonely is one's own relationship with oneself. It will re-engage possibilities for people to explore that relationship with themselves and their own inner worlds through these VR activities.
Our idea was to connect young people and older people, and we were specifically looking at care homes and how COVID may have affected the relationship between older people and their families. And the idea is to take them away from just maybe a boring Zoom conversation with all the sort of typical niceties that you might have in British conversations, such as what are you doing, how's the weather? And what we want to do is provide some sort of creative link for the young people and the older people.
So our project is called Rengorific, based on the Japanese practice of Renga, which is an ancient collaborative form of poetry. And our participants will be led by a facilitator to create pieces of art using any technique they like: photography, poetry, sketching, painting, sewing. They will then meet up weekly, and every time they choose someone else's art that they then riff off. This creates a collective chain of artworks that will be displayed online and possibly in a gallery setting as well.
I think some of the challenges is how do we continue to support artists? They've had a lot of changes as well. Many saw dramatic losses to their income. Other issues are digital security, engendering a feeling of trust among participants, but also how to reach the digitally excluded people, older people, who have not grown up with technology.
I would see creative expression as an essential part of our being, and what I would wish for is for more and more people to recognise that.
Whilst I don't feel that you need to be an artist to be creative, I think you do need the arts to allow yourself to be creative.
Welcome to the new normal. Welcome to the new normal.